Wow, I'm so high, I'm guilty high. What do I mean? Hey, universe, listen to this. I just recorded 28 minutes of yakety yak, and I really don't remember what I talked about. I just finished 15, 20 seconds ago. Well, now I've recorded for 20 seconds, so figure less than a minute ago, probably right at a minute. I have no idea. I mean, there's some talk in there about Craigslist and a piano I'm not going to get. I mean, seriously. So, once again, this is a preemptive strike against the nonsense that follows. Don't listen. Understand that there is probably 2 or 3 things in there that might even be worth hearing, but you'll have to crunch through a terrible, icy landscape of barren nothingness while I babble on about shit that you do not care about, like piano keys. So do yourself a favor and find something purposeful in your life that matters and work toward it. You don't even have to achieve it tonight, today, tomorrow, but work toward it and take measured steps. So when you get even 4% of the way there, you pat yourself on the back and give yourself some momentum to get 8% of the way. And then pretty soon it'll be accomplished. And what do you know? You won't be listening to this shit anymore. I know that much. Well, universe, it is 9:03. Nope, it's 9:09. I lost 6 minutes somehow. Well, I didn't lose them. They just went by without me doing anything productive enough to have. Why am I talking about 6 minutes of time that nobody cares about, even me? Because on this podcast, I'm willing to talk about anything. And because sometimes I just talk about shit mistakenly, like that I don't intend to share, but I've already hit the record button, so I could just stop right now and start all over. But I don't do that because I really have nothing here on my agenda. So if I want to talk about 6 minutes of lost time in the ether of nothingness, I'm going to talk about it. And I'm not trying to be abrasive. As a matter of fact, I'm in a very go with the flow fluidic. Am I fluidic? Can I make that word up? Is fluidic a word? It probably is. Probably ends with a CK. Fluidic. No, it probably isn't. But that's what I am. And as the cat purrs to my right and the dog snores to my left, I sit centered between pets of calm tranquility. So, whatever mood I'm in, it's only getting more harmonized with these two lollygagging about. And lollygagging is not the point. There is no lollygagging in this house. These two can relax and chill out as much as they want, and I never lollygag. So, when you put something on Craigslist or whatever, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, any of them, you have one of 2 choices on how to handle that. You either honor sequence of initial contact and work your way down that list, or it's first come, first serve. Or you do some hybrid version of play favorites or whatever. But if you're being straight, you're either going to go with, okay, that was the first person to contact me, so they have first opportunity. Then that's the second person, yada, yada. Or the shit's for sale till someone buys it. First come, first serve. And I've been both. I don't know which one's right. I don't think there is a right. Because I respect... First come, first serve is the easy one. There's no entanglement. There's no pressure to be something subjective. It's straight up the easiest rule of all. If it's still here and the ad's still up, it's still for sale, which means I still want your money for this product. So come to my door. Or there is the, well, now, I was contacted by a couple from Kansas who are going to drive here next weekend and look at it. Now, if they decide not to buy it, you're next. Oh, okay. Interesting. Especially at the rock solid oh my God, I'm going to get this for practically free price. You're advertising it. So here's the thing, right? The item is sitting available about 2.5 miles north of me, but because it's the sequence of order in which this seller is honoring his product of availability, well, I sit here knowing that I'm just waiting to be told that it's already been purchased. And what is it? It's a Yamaha P70 electronic grand piano. Well, it's not an electronic grand piano. It is their initial weighted key offering electric piano that has the grand piano, the Yamaha grand piano, what is that? Sound set? I don't even know what you call that, but whatever. I mean, it's got 8 awesome pianos. I have the P80. I know what I'm talking about. This is the P70. My P80, thanks to Phoebe's 4-month-old exuberance, got knocked off its stand and cracked and has been hampered ever since. It really doesn't even function. But it could be fixed rather easily with an entire layout from a P70, which is being offered online for $100, which is about $200 to $300 less than you ever see them. They're a $300 to $400 machine, and unless they're damaged, and damaged really doesn't work for me. I need the keyboard layout, and keyboards are what are damaged. So with that in mind, I have in my head said I'm willing to commit to the $500 to $600 used level for their true sit down next generation, not the P70, but the CP70s or the whatever, the next round of technology, which is off the charts, by the way. It doesn't have to even be Yamaha. I mean, there are terrific electric pianos to be had if you are at all a pianist from the past and have thought, maybe I'll get a piano someday. Look at the electric pianos. They're fucking awesome. The keys are terrific. And I mean, I can play my parents' piano, and maybe there is some level of familiarity with those keys since that's what I learned to play the piano on. But I can play any Yamaha weighted key set just as easily and just as effectively and just as emotively, which is what really matters. And even the pedal arrangements work fine. And I rarely use them, but if they're necessary, I think they work fine. That said, I'm not trying to advertise electronic pianos, but knowing that this is something that I've sort of $400 to $600 budgeted, it's nowhere near happening today. But $100? Yeah, that can happen right now. As a matter of fact, if that guy would just call me and say the other guy had a heart attack and died, so you're next. And I do not, that was terrible karma. Why did I do that? Why? Well, fuck. All right, well, the deal's going to fall through anyway. Oh, God, that was terrible karma. Why did I do that? All right. I can't take it off the record. See what I'm saying? I got to fucking live with it. Anyway. All right. Having a terrible moment does not mean that I wish harm on anyone. I never do. That was just a turn of phrase. And I will be more careful with my turn of phrase because turn of phrase equals intent when spoken aloud. And so it's out there, and now I live with it. But going back to the original point, $100 and this is cracked, and it has a speaker issue, which I could not care less about. In fact, the speakers, I mean, you play with headphones, so it could have no speakers. That'd be great. It'd be fine. And that's the only issue with it. The keys are intact, and he says immaculate. It's barely been played. It's just been dropped and cracked. So he's selling it for $100. And I'm second on the list. There is no way number one doesn't buy it. There's no way. If you're interested, you're buying it. Unless it's dysfunctional, in which case, then I'm not interested. So I've been in these positions, let's say 50 times, and had them work out twice, maybe. I was trying to think of one that worked out. I know one worked out with a tennis racket for sure. That's the one I can remember. Being second on that list and getting getting those rackets was terrific. But I mean, I've found great deals, but I've never been second on the list of something that's a steal at this level that would really be jump-starting a creative side of my life that I was putting on hold for at least realistically 18 months. Just priorities. But to have it fall in your lap, well, then your priorities can change overnight, right? Anyhow, so instead of first come, first serve, which I might have lost out to that anyway, right? There's no saying that third, fourth, or fifth on the list couldn't have gotten there faster than me. So to be in any level of angst about this is ridiculous. Of course it is. Not as ridiculous as regretting that $1,200 Niner Sir 9 that's on there, that's a medium, that's silver. Oh my God, it's a good looking bike. And it is exactly the upgrades I would do to the bike. Like, it is exactly the upgrades. Now, $1,200 for a Sir 9 is ridiculous. I mean, that's a $600-700 bike in good condition, in good shape, with meaning component-wise. But the upgrades are legit. Like, dropper seat post, whatever. Nobody gives a shit about this. But I do. I mean, the perfect bike was online. It's a $1,200 bike. That's like saying the perfect car was online. It's a $74,000 car. I might as well have said the same two things. That's how distant those realities are for me. So I can still dream about my perfect mountain bike, but I'll probably never own it. But there's no way in life I'll go through the next 20 years of existence without having regular access to a piano of some form, and hopefully portable. That's another reason that my piano playing dropped off. The portable options were always shit, and buying a piano never made sense. So the idea that now it exists in a way that's reasonable and has for 15 years. I mean, I've got two broken... Yeah, I'm rough on shit. Point is, this is an avenue in which I have been scatterbrained, to say the least. And now I want to take it seriously, very seriously. So I thought I might have lucked into that today, and we'll see, I guess, by tomorrow whether my luck is that good. But since I'm betting against myself, rightly so. Why am I betting against myself? Well, because A, this isn't what I should be doing with my money. Yeah, this is the kind of deal that's so good, even in my cash poor position, I can't pass it up. But, so would be a set of the perfect golf club irons, say 1984 Wilson Staffs for $75. I should buy them on principle, but I'll probably never play them. So what's the fucking point? Well, in that case, the point would be the straight up nostalgia of just seeing them and handling them and remembering all the high school and college golf played with that set of clubs. And that has tangible value even today. And probably has $75 worth of value if we're being fair, especially at a driving range. So I can talk myself into all kinds of acquisition for the sake of the moments they can create. And I was never good at the piano, but I never really cared to try to be good. And I don't think I have musical skill at all. But I do think I have, well, for one, I have 7 years of sitting at the piano every day for 45 minutes, practicing all sorts of shit. But for two, I have a love for music. Like, I just have a love for music and playing the things that I want to play instead of what Mrs. I won't even say her name, but she was the taskmaster. I mean, how much Bela Bartok have you the patience to learn? Right. But the theme to Star Wars, I mean, I learned that thing in an afternoon, mostly because it's easy, but also because I wanted to. So the idea of playing ragtime or frankly, some of Mozart and Beethoven, to play it with an adult sensibility, I guess. I don't know. The fact is, much like getting reading back in my life, as soon as music is a part of my daily routine, it'll become entrenched. It's just been missing, and I've been missing it. So, hey, that little reunion seems to be on the. Well, that little reunion is one I look forward to, and reading. Speaking of, I did misplace 1984. Like I lost it. It's not on my bookshelf. It's not in my nightstand, and it's not in any of my bags. Like I really don't know what I did with it. So I put it somewhere so that I'd have it securely, like behind the toilet. And now I have no idea where it is. But because I can't find 1984, I got out The Life of, I don't know how to say it, Milarepa or Milarepa. I really don't know. And that's weak of me not to have at least looked it up. But I'm weak. So here's the illustrated biography of Milarepa, or Milarepa. I don't know. This was a book I had in college. It was on a reading list for a religious studies class, and I never read it. It's brand new. Oh, well, it's not brand new. It's 40 years old. It's not 40 years old. It's 35 years old. But regardless of age, this book looks like I just bought it at the bookstore. So, except that some animal chewed the back cover. Or probably me. But the point is, I say that way too much. I'm excited that I'm returning to some structural foundation, some pieces that have meant a lot to me, like my love of the written word and the vocabulary expansion that happens as you invest in more and more reading material. Seeing words that you have forgotten are in the language matter. It gives you a wider range in which to express yourself. Since we can't read each other's thoughts yet, the best we can do is seek out a vocabulary that has enough depth, width, and precision to capture our thoughts, even the ones like Saturday night that I said to someone at work, I was like, I don't even know who to talk to about it, because you have to have a certain drug familiarity to get the aberration that this journey felt like. I'll figure it out, but I'm gonna have to let that one settle, because it is unsettling to think about how glorious that experience was. The best you can feel is, I mean, that's what I'm trying to let settle, so that I can say stuff beyond, well, if you could just imagine the best you could feel in front of the brightest light that you've ever imagined, and you're just getting told that you're the best thing in the universe, well, then you'd have an idea what it was like. But then you would have an idea what it was like. So, yeah, what do you do with that? I don't know. You definitely eat some yogurt. Pause. I'm sorry for the last 6 minutes or so. I know I've been rambling, so let's get on point. Actually, I have something very specific to talk about, so I'll be right back. Pause. Okay. What I wanted to talk about, or what I'm currently challenged by, is as I've become more open to social engagement I'm starting to be more engaged socially. Shocking, right? But what has why this is worth discussing, or even just referencing, is the lack of social outreach that that I have been committed to, and I am I am so thirsty for genuine human interaction that the 3 or 4 really interesting, dynamic people I've started friendships with feel like enough. Well, I mean enough. This is where being a self-destructive analytical mind comes to life in these moments, where you are quantifying experiences that are in the now. The in the now experiences with some of my coworkers have turned into genuinely meaningful moments. And I'm not used to that, especially at work. And so I don't know if that means that I've become more open to having meaningful moments in life. I think that's a large part of it. It also is encouraging that I'm around people who generate that sort of dynamic interaction that creates a meaningful moment. And it's not just like the people I work with regularly. There are a couple of sort of pop their head in now and again in my life people who I have as much regard for and could select as part of the 5 people that I would be stranded in the middle of the ocean with in a raft. I mean, I could pick those 5 people from work easily. And I have never been able to pick even one of those people at work. So that makes me feel like I've changed. Because I can't be getting the best landscape Home Depot has to offer. It just means that instead of whatever rhythm I was providing that let genuine, interesting, dynamic people know to stay away from me, was certainly active, or if not overly active, throughout my entire working career up until now. Except maybe at Baskin-Robbins. And you can't really count Paperboy in there, because what kind of social arrangements are you going to make as a Paperboy? So there are, however, in having come to a point where I no longer am trying to see what's in it for me and just experience a friendship and the rewards that come with it, because that's what's in it for me. I know this is 3rd grade morality shit, but some of us have to retake 3rd grade 45 times. And when we finally get to 4th grade, well, boy, are we ever ready to be besties. Because we figured it out. Stop forcing yourself and your expectations into a situation and just be yourself. And let the expectations of the situation develop into whatever they do. And watch how many meaningful moments can happen along the way. Well, how much of that is there room for in your life? I mean, I need time to think and rethink my bad thoughts into something worth thinking about. That takes a while. Plus, I got a lot of cleaning to do. It takes me forever to do laundry. I mean, how much time for meaningful moments does life afford you? It's a terrible question to ask, isn't it? Shouldn't it be limitless? And yet, well, I mean, am I going to stop wearing underwear? Somebody's got to do laundry. So, overly analytical bastard that I am, I figure you can entertain somewhere between, 7 and 17 close contacts. Say your nuclear family doesn't count, because you can't avoid their close contact. But everybody else in the universe who could say goodbye to you with no remorse or strings attached, unlike your direct blood relatives, well, those people, the ones who the simulation just spits your way, it's not random. It can't be. There is a synergy I'm experiencing across the people in my life that is unlike anything I've known. And I don't have anything to show for it. I didn't strike this place in life intentionally. If anything, I'm more stunned than anyone that I'm having these experiences. And the only rational way to wind myself back through it is to realize it's evidence, if not a complete proof, that I've changed. So it's I don't know. It doesn't leave me speechless, that's for sure. But it does make it hard to come to an understanding of who you are, who you were. How can you evolve into something now, tranquil and centered and complete? Well, why? I said I'd stop asking that question. Why is a question that has no resolution. We are the why. Everything that happens now is the why. Why are you here? Because this matters. Our lives matter. What we're here to do matters. And the idea that I keep finding more and more people that make me excited to join humanity again, well, this is the biggest surprise so far in 2023. I thought social outreach would be spotty at best. And if I'm being honest, I'd have given... I couldn't see enough catastrophe to contain the runaway train that was, why am I doing this? Panic attacks with the idea of what? Not being understood? Fear of failure? I don't even know what. Just ingrained fucking self-denial of opportunities to have genuine, life-fulfilling experiences. I guess. I mean, the evidence points to you being a jackass. And then you go ask everyone around you whether or not they think that evidence is legit, and they say, oh, you mean the evidence that points to you being a jackass? Yeah, we think it's legit. Well, maybe you're a jackass who can't hit the pause button. Ugh! I love you, Galaxy S4, but I hate your pause button on the lock screen. Can we get that clear? And on that note, this jackass says, good night. Okay, since I pulled that preamble shit. Oh, dropping my phone. I feel like I owe you a postscript. Yeah, this is stupid. I agree. So if you're this far, Mom, first of all, I am buoyant. I am confident. I am filled with anticipation. I am energized by my environment. I am gaining momentum from all directions toward a crescendo of experiences that are making me appreciate my life to a degree that I will no longer limit, because I want to see how far it can go. And if there's a postscript in life that I never thought I'd be writing, it's that my own sense of potential from within has moved from tremendous to limitless. And I guess if you just want to boil it down in a few words, I am pretty full of myself these days.